Mr.
Go
Chair, I have
I have,
question.
and I have
We're gonna have the vice chairperson. We're
Okay,
gonna...
i-reiterate ko lang, Mr. Chair, to the PNP chief. Ano? Dati kasi ang problema ay hindi talaga makakuha ng information and data yung mga relatives, yung mga reporters, yung lahat ano na nangangailangan ng data, even the legal counsels, napakahirap during the 2016, 2017, 2018. Ngayon po, open po ba kayo na ibigay yung mga information, necessary information na kailangan para sa investigasyon ng mga ito?
Dalawa yung tanong ko, Chief PNP. Isa, itong ilan yung establish nating mga desk officers all over the country para the people will be informed that those victims of the drug war during the previous administration, meron na pong pupuntahan.
Pulis po natin na tinatamaan, nababaril sa any kind of operations natin. And kung nasasabi nyo,
fewer number of deaths involved in police operations against drugs.
So sa sa under leadership, wala na yung double barrel, di ba?
wala na po, Your
We would like now allow our colleagues to ask questions to the Regional Marbil about this. The first question I'd like to ask to Marbil is this. What is the mandate given to you by the President as far as the war on drugs is concerned?
our mandate is really to follow rules, of the police operational procedure in the arresting and the people, Your Honor.
Okay, Congressman Fernandez and Congressman Kit Flores.
Since the good Chief NP will be leaving in a while, so allow me to ask some important questions. No, Chief PNP, a while ago you were manifesting on this committee with regards to the establishment of the different desk officers on the different part of this country, wherein there is a what do you call that, CIDG na ilalagay, no, yung mga desk officer, and allowing our victims who died in the police operation to have an access on those areas, no? So ilang areas po to sa buong Pilipinas that we are talking about? Because I believe that a while ago when I was listening to the former Senator Laila de Lima, I heard and we discussed in the last hearing pertaining to the different numbers that were mentioned on the what do you call that, the victims or casualty during the past administration. There was a report that it was 6,000, no? But in accordance to what we have discussed, sa office of the president mismo, lumabas doon sa kanilang, I think, sa SONA, it was like 20,000 yung lumalabas sa victims that hindi po nagmamatch doon sa sinasabi ng PNP pertaining sa 6,000 na recorded. So, in this case, dalawa yung tanong ko, Chief PNP. Isa, itong ilan yung establish nating mga desk officers all over the country para the people will be informed that those victims of the drug war during the previous administration, meron na pong pupuntahan yung ating pong mga biktima. So, kindly tell us, Chief PNP, so ilan po to?
Sir, I don't have any exact numbers, but I already instructed the CIDG through our DIDM that all offices from regional and provincial offices of the CIDG be open to receive any complaints against this matter.
Pero basically, Chief PNP, no, tulad sa amin sa Laguna, parang meron kami dong provincial, I think, sa Cabuyao. So, iisa lamang yon sa Laguna. So, all of those people who have been victimized by this extrajudicial killing will go to Cabuyao. Parang ganon.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, in every province, we have like one. So, kung meron po tayong 81 provinces, so those victims who have been victimized by this alleged EJK will go to the provincial offices.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so basically, to those people, that they think they were victimized by this uh, uh, um, operation that involves our police, doon na po natin puntahan sa CIDG sa bawat probinsya. So Chief PNP, we were able to talk about yung yung mga remnants when we have a meeting with the speaker, no, and we believe that it's still happening, we have investigated a lot of bypass operation that somehow involves yung mga tanim, pagtatanim. And basically, would you agree with me that this kind of attitude of our policemen lagay sa puso at damdamin nila during the past administration? Kasi let us accept, that there were like 6,000 victims that you have mentioned, 6,000. And according sa report naman sa kabila, meron 20,000. So basically, meron talagang mga namatay. So ang tanong ko, Chief PNP, are there still members of the PNP structure who have conducted a lot of bypass na hindi po totoo? So kasi basically sa amin po, sa Committee on Public Order, we have seen, na meron pang ganun. Can you kindly tell us if these are still remnants of that previous undertakings that was done by the previous administration?
Your Honor, we don't have any reports, but my guidance is really to follow strictly the police operational procedure with regard to the operation against drugs.
Opo, Chief PNP, kung nakita naman po natin that there are those bypass operations that was fake, hindi naman totoong bypass. Nagtatanim lang po talaga sila, and it was proven in our committee when we investigated that. And ang tanong ko po sa inyo, kung itong gantong klase ng pag-uugali ng ating pong mga eskalawag, kakaunti lang naman yung mga natitirang yan ng mga pulis na nagtatanim ng kanilang mga ebidensya, yung po ba ay nanggaling pa doon sa kultura na kung saan 6 na taon na ganun po ang order sa atin? Do you think that this is a part of that culture that was established in the past administration and somehow being still followed by some of our PNP officials?
Actually, Your Honor, the reasons why I want to be excused kasi ito na po yung mga tao natin na nadidisgrasya at nababaril po dun sa police operations natin, no? And clearly, if you will look at our police operations right now, we have so many people, mga police po natin na tinatamaan at nababaril sa any kind of operations natin. And kung nasasabi nyo, ang marching order ko lang po dun sa any police operations po natin, just want to make it clear, is really to observe the rule of law and respect of human rights. So, kung meron po nangyayari yon, and sabi ko nga, when we heard na may nangyayari po na imbestigahan nyo, we actually, before na imbestigahan nyo po na sinasabi nyo ng bala o na ganyan, na-imbestigahan na po ng mga pulis namin yan. I think you was referring to the case in the PRO Region 4A, and it was already investigated before the committee heard about it po. So we don't allow any kind of operations sa mga tanim po ng ganyan. Any kind of operations po, ang sinasabi ko lang po sa mga pulis natin, let us respect the law. Yun lang po yung ano natin.
And as a matter of fact, Mr. Chairman, I would like to thank the Chief PNP, for not allowing this kind of proliferation of this kind of illegal activities of the men in uniform. As a matter of fact, what the good GMP was telling us was true, that these are being investigated already. And as a matter of fact, we just wanted to put that in our committee for the other PNP officials to know that we are doing something. And sana hindi na pamarisan ng ibang mga kapulisan. Lalo na, Chief PNP, yung mga pulis na yung puso nila pusong kriminal. Hindi natin alam, nagtatago pala sa pagiging pulis. At maraming ganun. And these are the scalawags that we are fighting right now. And thank you so much, Chief PNP, for having said that. And in addition, Mr. Chairman, marami na rin pong na-dismiss ng mga kapulisan under the wings of our Chief PNP Marbil. And thank you for that. And yun lamang po at maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Fernandez. Congressman Flores, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. General Marbil, how would you describe the current war on drugs under this administration?
Sir, ang pareho lang po ng natin. And the same way na nangyayari po before, no? Ang talagang po ang ginagawa po ng police natin is really to follow the rules of law. I think that's yan po talaga ang ginagawa ng police natin ever since po.
Yes, sir. My question actually is, are you going against the people involved in drugs with the same zeal, siguro, and ferocity as the previous administration? Yung gusto ko lang ma-establish po yan. Yan po na question.
Sir, ang police operations po is non-stop.
Alright?
Hindi po natin, just want to make clear, no? Wala po, hindi po natatapos po dito. It's a continuous effort being, no, it's a joint effort po ng ginagawa po namin ng PDEA and lahat po ng government agency against illegal drugs po.
Okay, now, if you were to compare the current siguro operations that the police are having against the elements involved in drugs, now, in the first 2 years of the administration, of the current administration, compare it with the first 2 years of the previous administration, how would you distinguish it?
So there's no comparison, no? Kasi ang sinasabi ko, I don't know what happened to kung gaano po yung volume ng drugs before and the volume po ng drugs po ngayon, no? But ang sinasabi ko lang, it's continuous effort po ng ginagawa natin, especially ang pinaka-target po namin is yung supply reduction. We go for supply reduction with the help po ng mga PDEA and other government agencies po natin.
Okay, so would you agree with me that it would then be an unfair, siguro comparison if they would say that the current police leadership or the current administration is soft on drugs?
Your Honor, if you will look at the statement of our president during so na mas marami po tayo nahuli po ng drugs. Ang sinasabi po natin, we go for yung supply po. We go for supply reduction. Kaya mas malaki po yung operations natin pagka marami po yung confiscation po ng drugs.
Okay, so now that you're saying that you had more operations, how come that in this administration, there are less or fewer number of deaths involved in police operations against drugs?
Sir, ang ginagawa po namin, no, and I just want to know, ang ginagawa po namin is intel-driven. We're not go for numbers, we go for the big confiscation po ng mga shabus on the streets.
Sir, my question is simple naman eh. I'm referring to the number of deaths in the first 2 years of this administration and comparing it with the previous administration. Kasi gusto kong ma-connect po, no? Na baka sabihin nila na this administration is being soft or this administration is not doing enough or that the current police leadership is not serious in going against personnel involved in drugs. That is why there are less number of deaths compared to the previous administration who might claim that they went all out against these persons. Yan lang ang gusto ko ma-debunk po.
Sir, ang sinasabi po namin, no, ang kung nakikita, mas marami po natatamaan na pulis po ngayon kaysa dati. Kasi it's more, ang sinasabi nyo, we follow rules. Wala naman po kaming, I don't want to compare po yung dati. Parang sinasabi po ngayon, mas marami po kami nahuli at marami pong siyabong nakukonfisca po namin ngayon.
Okay, so since you're refusing to compare it, then let me ask you this point blank na lang. Would you consider that it was a serious concern, the number of deaths that occurred during the previous administration in their war on drugs? As a police officer, sir.
Sir, ang guidance ko lang mo, and sinasabi ko lang, we have to follow yung rules of law. Ilang naman po ay...
So I'm not questioning you on what you're to follow. I'm questioning you, and as a police officer, as a chief PNP, would you consider it as a serious concern po yung the total number of deaths that occurred in the police operations against drug personnel in the previous administration? Yan lang po.
Yes, sir. With the committee right now, no, ito po yung purpose po natin is really to investigate. Andito po yung mga kapulisan namin to really give you all the details. Wala naman po kami tinatago din sa matters na po nito. And anything that you need, I've already stated in my opening statement that the PNP is willing to help po for the investigation po.
I wish he had more time with us, Mr. Chair, because he's giving me general answers. But anyway, since he has to leave, I will yield, Mr. Chair.
We shall be continuing this anyways. I would like just Director General Marbil to promise us the next meeting we're going to have that she will be here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, pero sa sa under leadership, wala na yung double barrel, di ba?
Wala na po, Your Chair.
Wala na po yung Operation Tukang.
Wala na po, Your Chair.
Now, the next hearing we have, I'd like you to answer us. Bakit tinanggal na yung double barrel? Bakit tinanggal na yung Operation Tukang? Perhaps later on, General Bakay could be able to answer that. No? But at this point in time, we do not want to, hinder you from your operations. I know that sinabi niya meron silang kinakailangang puntahan ngayon. So,
Mr. Chair, isang question lang, Mr. Chair.
go ahead. Meron pa isang question.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, i-reiterate ko lang, Mr. Chair, to the PNP chief. Dati kasi ang problema ay hindi talaga makakuha ng information and data yung mga relatives, yung mga reporters, yung lahat na nangangailangan ng data, even the legal counsels, napakahirap during the 2016, 2017, 2018 na hanggang 2022, no? Ngayon po, open po ba kayo na ibigay yung mga information, necessary information na kailangan para sa investigasyon ng mga ito? Mr. Chair, yun po yung tanong ko sa PNP chief. Are you open to that?
Our Chairman, I already stated that we are open po dun sa any investigation po. So we open our CIDG offices for any complaints. Anything that we can help in the investigation, nandito po. Kaya po nandito po yung Directorate for Investigation namin. If there is any query coming from the committee na kailangan niya po talaga to investigate po.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yun po yung kailangan sana natin kasi marami talaga ngayon na humihingi niyan. And binigay naman sa atin ng PNP chief yung kanyang word na open ang lahat. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Isang tanong lang, no, Chief, no? Ano pwedeng gawin ng Philippine National Police doon sa mga involved na nag-retire na?
Sir, dun sa atin, we can only speak for the active police, the Philippine National Police. But with regard po, then there will be complaint coming from the other. Then we will be helping for the finding of the cases.
Okay. Is there any more question before he leaves?
Mr.
Go
Chair,
ahead.
I have question.
I have
We're going to have the Vice Chair first and we're
Okay.
going to ask
Thank you, Mr.
Congressman
Chair.
Cas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ask
Thank you, Mr.
Congressman
Chair.
Cas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Be complaint coming from the other. Then we will be helping for the finding of the cases.
Okay. Is there any more question before he leaves?
Mr.
Go ahead.
Chair, I have question.
I have
We're going to have the Vice Chair first and we're
Okay.
going to ask
Thank you, Mr.
Congressman
Chair.
Cas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before I ask Chief PNP Marbil, just like to point out po, no, for clarity and sa ating mga kababayan na nanonood ngayon, we are very appreciative to the former senator for gracing this affair. And by the way, congratulations on winning all your cases po in the court. Maraming salamat. And I just want to for clarity, for the purposes of we'll be discussing issues on the same page, no? So there was a mention about the DDS previously. So para po maklaro po, the reckoning really is 2016, no? 2016, when the former president assumed the office of the presidency in 2016 up to 2022. So para po klaro po tayo, we will focus on number 1, yung operation on Tukhang, and number 2 is yung double barrel, which I'd like to ask General Marbil. What's the status now of the war on drug operation?
So we don't have any term na war on drugs, but it's more police operations. We call it 100% community drug free.
Yeah, but the war on drugs was actually used by the agency, by your institution, by your organization a couple of years ago. So I admit that you're not using that nomenclature anymore, but we are, as an average person, we do understand what do we mean by a war on drugs. So let me ask you this again. What's the status now of the office of the operation of our PNP jointly conducting illegal drug bypass operation or etc. with the PDEA? What is now the status?
Sir, we have a better numbers of confiscated methamphetamine hydrochloride in our inventory compared before. But the continuous operations against illegal drugs is it's non-stop.
Okay. Earlier, when did you assume office pala po, General?
April 1, 2024, Your Honor.
April 1. Earlier, I heard the chairman in his opening remarks that when this current administration took office last 2 years ago, there was a substantial decrease of number of casualties in the implementation of the police operation against drugs. So let me use that phrase. No, I will no longer use war on drugs to benefit the PNP. There was a tremendous decrease, no? From, I guess, based on your submitted data from the PNP, we requested your data. The last, based on the submitted data na ito po yung napatay, in 2022, from May 9 to June 30, 2022, all in all, mga nasa 100 plus. And then since President Marcos assumed Malacanang, there was, I think, 52, if I may heard it correctly in his opening remarks. Can you give us the reason why there was a substantial decrease from the previous administration and now?
Maybe, sir.
Operation po ang pinag-usapan natin po dyan.
Yes, sir. Maybe we followed different kind of techniques with regard to operations, and the reason kaya nga, sir, ito po yung nangyayari sa amin, mas marami po kami tinatamaan sa paa. Yan po yung nakikita nyo eh. Puro below po yung tama ng mga pulis natin eh. And I guess mas magaling po yung technique ng mga pulis natin. And sabi ko nga, ang guidance po natin is really the preservation of life po.
So would you say, with that answer, General, would you say this now policy that you are implementing is an improved version of the previous policies that the PNP conducted insofar as the illegal drug operation is concerned?
Sir, ang pareho lang naman po yung previous one, but ang guidance ko lang, it's really to get for the bigger fish po
I
dun sa kaya
understand.
mas malakis po yung, mas marami po kami nahuhuling shabu ngayon kaysa dati po.
Yeah, I understand, Mr. Chair, but the number does not lie, and the number speaks for itself. There's a substantial decrease. The number of namatay in the drug operation. Right now, you're saying that you are changing your tactic, maybe the policy. So I presume, since you are proud to inform this committee that you are now changing the landscape in the implementation, wala na masyadong namamatay, I presume that what you're saying is there's a lot of improvement in the implementation of your policy on war on drugs. Would that be a safe assumption, Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir. Yun po yung ano natin, and with the different kind of equipment that we're using, kagaya po ng CCTV, we can easily see people kung ilan po yung mga tao dati. Dati, we are so blind when it comes to those mga operations. Maybe mas magaganda po yung gamit po namin ngayon.
Okay. So, let me, is it also safe to assume, General, that there's a change the implementation or the operation that you're conduct vis-a-vis the ongoing war or ano ba yung term mo doon, yung operation against illegal drugs. Would that is it safe to assume that am I using the right term that there's a big change, a substantial change in the implementation from, because there's no point of changing the double barrel if it's effective. There's no point of replacing a tokhang if it's effective for you. Pero why the sudden change? And if there are changes, what brought these changes about?
Sir,
What's
yung
the realization?
with regard to the comparison of the campaign, the double barrel and tokhang, pare-pareho lang po yung ginagawa namin sa police operation. But how we handle yung cases po, paano po kami papasok sa mga bahay, paano po na kami nagpapa-implement ng search warrants, yun po yung mas maingat po kami because we really want to avoid yung unnecessary po na mga barilan. And of course, we have to protect, especially mga police po rin natin. Kung if not so sure, sabi ko nga sa police natin, let us, mas maayos pong gusto natin.
Yeah, so ibig sabihin po, kasi kanina tinatanong ho kayo na aking mga colleagues dito, dahil sa natanggap po natin ng mga numero, talagang meron pong pagkakaiba. At tama po yun, yung sinabi niyo po, meron talagang, you're changing now the gear, you're changing gears, no? You are now focused on lessening the possible what you call that, collateral damage na mga nasasabi, walang masyadong namamatay sa hanay po ng mga PNP, and that's what we want. Wala hong mamamatay sa hanay ng PNP. So, meron talagang rason kung bakit altogether iniba. Kasi gusto ko maintindihan, when you say, continuous pa rin yung war, yung illegal, yung operation namin against illegal drugs, vis-a-vis yung tokhang and yung double barrel na pinatanggal. So anong pinagkaiba ngayon? Kasi gusto namin maintindihan po dahil parang may improvement sa panahon ngayon. At sinabi niyo naman, meron talagang changes. So yung gusto kong tanungin, General, apart from the tactical and operational manual that you are implementing now, of course there are assessment, no, ginagawa ng opisina nyo. And that assessment leads to the realization. So what actually is the realization of the PNP to finally say, tokhang, wag na yan, double barrel, wag na yan, let's focus on this. Was it because you do not want collateral damage to happen anymore? Or was it because you do not want more dead bodies to pile up in the streets every time that you conduct your police operation? So what's the realization, General?
Your Honor, binago po namin yung unit performance namin. No? It's really different from the kind of unit performance that we have before when it comes to drug supply eradication. Right now, kung sa amin kagaya nga, and yung kino-compare ko nga, ang problema po dun sa when I came from the Region 8, sa different kind of drugs dun sa gano'ng karaming volume when it comes to NCR. Iba-ipo po yan. Kasi dati, it's more of a number games. Parami ng huli, parami po natin. But did we really solve the problem? I don't think so. Kaya nga po yung ginagawa po natin, it's more of ang guidance po natin is more of holistic approach. Kung ilan yung shabu na umiikot doon sa region mo, yun ang dapat i-accomplish mo. If you look right now, mas marami po kaming huli doon sa supply. It's not more of the people that we need to arrest. It's more of the supply that we have to reduce. Yun po yung ginagawa ng police natin. And just want to make it clear na hindi lang po ito police to. It's of course the help of our community that we're building. Kasi ang hinabol po natin yung mga sumbong po ng tao. And I think we are better off right now na mas marami po nang susumbong yung mga tao regarding po sa mga illegal drugs po.
So last my remaining questions lang po, no. Ito po galing po sa mga data ng PNP. Sa palagay niyo po after all the filing of charges, yung mga both criminal and administrative, right now would you say na yung intention of the previous administration when it comes to their operation against illegal drug ay naging successful? Considering that you are now trying to divert your attention to getting the substance, yung doon kayo sa supply and not the supply ng malakihan, no? Which I do agree that you have to focus on that, yung supply. But based on the data that we have here, would you say that yung nangyari po na may ang daming namatay, ang daming nakasuhan ng administratively sa hanay po ng ating mga kapulisan at mayroon pong mga collateral damage, would you say now that despite everything that we are hearing and we experienced and we saw in the previous administration, we can safely say that the intention of that is really successful?
Sir, ang drugs is a business of illegal people. Sabi ko nga, hindi mo masosolve yan eh. Kasi hindi ang drugs po, it's not made in the Philippines. It made it come out of the country natin. Ang precursor niyan, it's not coming from the Philippines. Wala po tayong precursor ng drugs. Kaya sabi ko, ano pa problema dati, I have no idea because that's not my time. Pero ito po yung nagiging, nakikita natin na mas magandang solusyon, how it works po. But maybe what my solution right now will be different from the solution of the next GPNP. Kasi drugs nga yan, it's a legal business. People, they want money. So paulit-ulit, maybe they have to change the other tactics. We change our tactics, maybe we're winning right now. Maybe in the next couple of years, it will be the different case. Kaya po, sabi ko nga yun, what happened the previous po, I have really no idea kung paano po yung technical. But during my time, that's what is happening. That's the guidance is really to reduce po yung drugs with the help po ng ating government agencies.
Pero alam mo, General Marbil, I commend you for changing the gears, no? For, kasi nag-focus ka dun sa tama. Even if you don't give me a straight answer, I think hindi naging successful dahil tama yung sinabi mo eh. Negosyo ito eh. Maski patayin mo kung sinong dapat mong patayin, hindi yan mawawala kung andyan pa rin yung demand, andyan pa rin yung supply. So tama nga po yung sinabi nyo na we don't need to see more bodies piled up in the streets if we really want to eradicate our, the illegal drug syndicate and business operation in the country. What we need is to refocus our effort, look for the source, look for the demand, and I commend you on that. You're on the right track. Because sa palagay ko po, hindi naging, sa dami pong namatay nung previous administration, hanggang ngayon, problema pa rin natin ng illegal drugs. So in a way, we fell short on that. For my last question, and I congratulate the PNP for your continuing participation with this committee and for giving us the data. We support you on your new track, General. But let me go back to the Dangerous Drug Board. Si PNP? Si PNP? At si
PNP.
okay, sige. So anyway, marami pong salamat sa mga sagot niyo po, General Marbil. Thank you very much. Thank you.